Cam Newton just gave Shedeur Sanders a huge cosign, but that's only the beginning of the story, because while Shedeur's stock is rising, the Browns could be making some serious moves at the wide receiver position. You got Jerry Jeudy or Cedric Tillman. Both of them are known, and as far as it's been rumblings about them being on the trading block. And then you got Deshaun Watson after his comments about Browns fans and the backlash that followed. You got LaVar Arrington saying something about it. Is Watson being honest about how he feels about the fan base? LaVar taps in on that, or did he completely misread the room? We're talking about it all today, but before we get to that, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell to let you know when we upload a video. And some people might want to tap into the content, so share it. So let's tap in.
Welcome to the Reese Will show you. Tap in, and then no better sports destination for you. I go hard to bring you every sports tape, from the NFL highlights to NBA fast break dunks. Yes, I'm Reese Will. Can't leave out my fine Barbie sisters hitting the 3-pointers. I share with you every sports big moments under the sun. We chop it up together. I raise your chat and we have so much fun. Whatever trending, then no clickbait vibes. I'm spitting straight facts, pushing back on all negative agendas. That's what I do just for you on the Reese Will show. So know this for sure. From the draft to the championship runs with me. We always win. It's time to go live and let the show.
Now, Cam Newton just gave Shedeur Sanders a huge cosign, and this one really caught my attention. Cam Newton believes Shedeur Sanders his stock is rising, and coming from a former NFL MVP, that's something I think the Browns fans should pay attention to. So listen closely to what Cam Newton had to say about Shedeur Sanders. Let's play the clip.
Learn as much as you possibly can. Keep getting better. Hone it. Man, I think what Shedeur has been able to do this offseason, every single time one of these have approached his vicinity, he has answered every single question. The best. It's textbook. Mm-hmm. He has not made it a spectacle when people have poked him to want to make him say certain things wrong. Don't give him that. He's becoming the best player that he possibly could be, because not only is he becoming valuable to the Cleveland Browns organization in the event Deshaun doesn't pan out, you don't think 31 other teams are seeing this take place? They say, hey, we would rather a person who has been polished for this position rather than taking a chance on a guy with his stock is rising on the bench. Learn as much as you possibly can.
His stock is rising on the bench, and I truly believe that too. His stock is rising on the bench, and he's learning every day. And you think about it, as far as like his talent, and then you got these guys coming in 2027. He's totally better than all those guys. And now he done had a year and a half of just knowing the NFL game. There's none of them guys coming out that's better than Shedeur. Honestly, there's none of them guys out here that's better than Shedeur. The Golick family, the two brothers that was on ESPN, they both from Cleveland, but they talking about how likable, and let's tap into what they got to say. It's just a few seconds.
Being Shedeur Sanders today, who has handled this entire situation with incredible grace, has given all the right answers on this, has gone out and, performed in a mixed bag. We've seen some plays from him. We've seen some turnover plays from him, and we've seen some things that give you hope. He's now going to become the most likable figure in Cleveland, especially if this goes the way that we think it could go on the field early on.
How quickly? They're already booing Deshaun Watson. They may boo him the first time he steps out in a regular season game. You're probably going to hear some boos of how quickly, from the fan side, they're going to call for Shedeur Sanders to be the quarterback. It has been one of the most awfully run rooms in the NFL, and it's not just now. Through other GMs, through other coaches, through other quarterbacks, it's unbelievable how bad this position has been for now decades for the Cleveland Browns.
And even still with that in mind, because you're right, and we talked about that with Todd Monken, but you zoom out, the Browns quarterback room has been a mess forever. And factoring that in, this has still been, when you factor in the off-field allegations, the contract, the injuries, the lack of on-field production, the fact that Joe Flacco came in and was the first one to throw for 300 yards or whatever it was in that stretch of games where Deshaun Watson, the offense, couldn't do anything. This has been, I'd imagine in that, and for Browns fans, I'd be curious, at the goal, it's on social media, has this finally been the most embarrassing stretch for that position, for this team, in the history of the long names on jerseys in the back of a Browns uniform in Cleveland history? Being Shedeur.
And I forgot all about that. And how could I forget? But I just didn't mention it. Man, back when Flacco came in, and he came in at the end of the season, and we had that great run going into the playoffs. And they didn't want to bring Flacco back the next year because they thought it would threaten Deshaun Watson, and everybody, the whole crowd, everybody, the fan base would want Flacco. So they didn't bring him back after he led us all the way to the playoffs at the end of the year. And eventually we went in and played the Houston Texans, and they beat us. So, but nevertheless, Flacco came in here and lit it up. So it's just a lot that go into that. But as far as them saying that Shedeur is going to be the most likable, man, he's already the most likable without this. But for sure, with him being the backup to Deshaun Watson, absolutely, absolutely. So now we got Watson talking about his comeback after Todd Monken had named him the starter. And he said that, I understand the frustration, but we got LaVar Arrington, a former NFL linebacker, on his show after his comments about the Browns fans, after Deshaun's comments about the Browns fans and the backlash that followed. And LaVar Arrington got some things to say about that.
I don't think Deshaun Watson wants to play football, but at the end of the day, you gotta stay face, and you gotta try to get through this last amount of time being a Cleveland Brown and being there because you want to get all of your money. You don't want to do anything that would lead to you not getting your money. So I'm going to say the right things. I'm just not going to mean it. And
hey, you know what?
He said a mouthful there. I'm gonna say the right things, but I'm just not gonna mean it. Come on, man. Like, you gotta read the room. Even though you hate whatever went on, just say the right things, but just not mean
your
it.
Money. So I'm gonna say the right things. I'm just not gonna mean it. And
hey, you know what? That's a heck of a way to live.
Hey, for what it's worth, I mean, it's worth it with the amount of money that he's going to receive. So I don't think that anyone should have any real expectations in terms of what you're going to get from him. And I think, again, wouldn't you say the bigger question now becomes, don't you feel like some weird type of feeling about, like, how should I feel about how the Todd Monken era is getting started in Cleveland? I don't feel as though, if I'm a Browns fan, I probably would feel better if you missed as a first-year head coach and you're trying to rebuild this team. I probably would feel better if you went with a younger guy and we went through growing pains with a younger guy.
He made a mouthful. He said a mouthful right there. How is Todd Monken's beginning of his era as a new head coach, brand new head coach? How's it going, man? Because he's hitting some rocks, man, and the fan base is already pissed off right now. So I don't know, man. To begin your era like this, is this what Todd Monken really feels? This is the way he really feels about the starter? Or is this Jimmy Haslam stepping in like we know that he can, and basically saying, look, that man made $230 million. Guess what? He's not going to be a backup making $230 million. We're going to see or try to get something out of him before he leaves out of here, because we know he's not going to re-sign. That's a no-brainer, especially after what he said. He almost tried to sabotage the whole year for himself. And I don't know how he came out of that. They just forcing him on us. It's unbelievable. I've never seen nobody do something like that. attack the fan base. Maybe let me know in the comments. You ever seen anybody attack your own fan base? Let me know about that, man. Let me know. And like I said, we got some rumors, and it's a lot of rumors going on, man, about as far as Jerry Jeudy and things that could possibly happen as far as him and Cedric Tillman online. Man, it's kind of surfacing everywhere. And let's take a look at this real quick. Jeudy and veteran Browns receiver Cedric Tillman are potential trade options given the young depth Cleveland has developed at the receiver position. While the Browns may be inclined to keep one or both players, it's possible that GM Andrew Berry could deal one of them if he receives the right offer. It's hard to know what a good offer for Jerry Jeudy would be and what Berry would want in exchange for him. A former first-round pick, Jeudy underperformed for the majority of his career before having a breakout season with the Browns in 2024. But Jeudy followed that season up with a largely disappointing 2025 campaign. So, like I said, with the two great drafts in a row, with this year's draft, Andrew Berry, he pretty much knocked it out of the park by drafting two wide receivers. You got Denzel Boston and KC Concepcion. So now these trade rumors are surfacing, and I thought maybe Tillman might not make the 53 man, but they talking about trying to move him, and they putting Jerry Jeudy in there too. So you know that those wide receivers that they picked up has really been lighting it up in camp. I want to hear from you about Cam Newton clearly seeing something in Shedeur Sanders, but do you agree that Shedeur's stock is rising, and with everything happening around the Browns, would you rather see Cleveland keep developing Shedeur or give him an opportunity somewhere else? Do you think he should be sent somewhere else? Now drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, because we're going to keep y'all updated on all this stuff, man. Appreciate y'all, man. See y'all on the next video.